Welcome to the Health Reflections podcast, a podcast dedicated to exploring the world of anti-cancer living and empowering you to take control of your health. I'm Finola, your host and guide on this transformative journey towards a vibrant and resilient life. Join me for solo episodes and conversations with wonderful guests. I am beyond excited that you're here, so let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Health Reflections podcast. Today I want to talk about something that is very, very important. I think it's something that needs a lot of awareness, and also it's a topic that it's very important to me because I have gone through this 3 to 4 times during my PhD journey, and I'm not entirely sure if I am in that situation at this very moment, but I'm in a very similar one. So the topic, which you already know by the title, is burnout. Also, I just want to mention, in this apartment, it is really hot right now. So temperatures have gone up here in Brussels, and outside, actually, it's quite okay. I think depending on, Brussels changes a lot. It's sunny, suddenly it's cloudy. So sometimes depending on the time and depending where you are, it's not that bad. So it's not that hot. I mean, of course, I'm comparing to Spain, but in the apartment that I am in, I'm in the top floor, and the heat kinds of builds up here. So I have the door of the terrace open, and I've got the windows open to create a little bit of a draft because I am sweating. So yeah, this is just an explanation in case that you hear any weird noises, any background noises, something that disturbs you. I'm really sorry. I know the best thing to do is to close everything and, make a nice podcast with a great, sound and no background noise, but I'm sorry, I'm really hot right now, and I'm putting myself first. Also, if you're watching from YouTube, I think my current outfit speaks very well for today's episode. As I just mentioned, I want to talk about burnout, and you're finding me very tired. I even didn't want to record today's episode, but I said, you know what? You love recording your episodes. You love building a community on YouTube and on your podcast. So just think about that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm in burnout because the way that I feel right now, it's very different to the past burnouts that I had. But I do know that I'm very tired. And lately, getting to work, both in my PhD and in my business, it takes me a huge effort, and it is draining me. So honestly, I don't really know what I need right now. I don't know if I need a break or what type of break I need. Because for me, when I go on vacation, that involves a lot of plans. And yes, I have fun. I just came back from Spain, and I had a lot of fun. I was able to disconnect mentally, but not physically. So I'm very tired. And I think that I'm just accumulating how tired I am because of the amount of work that I have. I am not allowing myself to fully disconnect and fully have a break. And this is also why I wanted to do this episode today. I am using myself as an example of what you should not do. So you shouldn't do what I am doing. I am fully aware, and I fully know that I should take a break and take a proper break. I know sometimes it is not possible, or it might be complicated to find the time or arrange this break that you might need, but it is better to take a break and take care of yourself rather than keep on pushing. So I am actually evaluating how and when I can take a break. I don't want to take a full-on vacation. Like normally the vacation that I take are from 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even a month. But right now I'm really motivated and I have a lot of energy in the sense of finishing my PhD, creating my business and so on. But because I am tired, like I can feel that I have accumulated a lot of, exhaustion, I need a break and I want to maybe take like 1 week and I just want to rest. I don't want to party. I don't want to drink. I don't want to, none of that. I just need silence. I need to be calm. I need to be with myself, with my thoughts. And yeah, I'm actually trying to see how much of my PhD work needs to be done, when it needs to be done, my business, and see if I can maybe take 1 week in June, maybe. I'm not sure. To rest, because if I continue to this point, I will definitely get burnout. Anyway, enough about me. I just really wanted to put myself as an example. I love being as real as possible because the point of me creating this YouTube channel and this podcast and this community is for us to be able to connect with each other and be in this journey of creating, the healthy life that we want together. And this is a very real situation. A lot of people get to points where they reach burnout, and this is a serious matter and can seriously affect our health. So this is why I wanted to talk about this today. I want to dive in how to avoid burnout, because what I would love to be able to do, which is still a journey, I'm still learning. As time passes, I do it better, but it's still a journey. I'm still learning how to avoid burnout and how to know when to take a break. And this is why I wanted to share my experience. I don't think I have reached the point of burnout yet. I know I'm quite close, and that's how I know that I need to take a break in order for this not to get worse and the it's not really treatment, but what we would need to do if I reach that point not be as harsh. I don't think I'm finding the right words. So it's not to be as harsh, but normally, as I have experienced it myself and as I have seen my colleagues, every single time one of us reached burnout, we needed like 1 month, 1.5 months completely off. And that for me is a lot of time. And I would rather try to learn as much as I can about how I behave, how I react to situations, and how to try to avoid burnouts. And if I need to take 1 week, 2 week break from work or vacation, the vacation that you want, that's totally okay. But yeah, I would rather do that rather than pushing myself so hard to the point that I reach burnout, which can come with other harmful consequences and then need like whatever amount of time to heal. I don't want to get to the point of needing healing. I want to be aware of what's happening, and if I can stop it, prevent it, and take care of myself before, I will definitely do that. Okay, so how to avoid burnout. The first thing that I'm going to mention is very obvious. I'm pretty sure that you already know this and that you have heard this a million times, and still we hear it, and I don't think we practice it enough. The first one is to prioritize self-care. It is crucial to practice self-care. And for me, when I mention self-care, it's not just taking a bath, practice your skincare. It's a lot more than that. So yes, I love bubble baths, and yes, I love doing my skincare, but it's a lot. It's more than that. Self-care for me means loving yourself, taking time in the day to take care of yourself. This means what you eat, how much exercise you practice, how much mindfulness you practice, Do you meditate? Do you practice yoga? Do you check in with yourself daily? Like, check how you're feeling. If you're feeling good, then try to analyze why. If you're feeling bad, also analyze why and see what can be done. It encompasses all of that. Your health, mind, soul, and body. Are you getting the enough amount of sleep? And not only the amount of hours of sleep that you need, but quality sleep. All of these are super important for us to reach an overall well-being. Self-care is crucial in managing stress levels and preventing burnout. And the reason for this is because it involves practices and activities that we do in order to relax and maintain our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So when we're stressed, our bodies respond by releasing hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. And these are great in a short term because this helps us react to a threat. However, when we have chronic stress, there is an overproduction of these hormones, causing symptoms such as fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and feelings of anxiety. So for example, physical exercise. Even when you don't feel like it, just go for a walk. Or if you don't want to do anything super intense, practice some yin yoga. Just make sure that you're moving your body, because moving your body can help reduce the levels of these stress hormones, as well as stimulate the production of endorphins, which, as you may already know, are natural mood lifters. Then, another example, as I mentioned before, a healthy, balanced diet. The reason for this is because there are certain foods that can help increase these stress hormones. For example, drinking a lot of coffee, this will not help in this situation. And there are other foods that will help reduce these stress hormones. Foods high in vitamin C, magnesium, omega-3, this can help reduce cortisol levels in the body. Another thing that is very important is mental health activities that I slightly mentioned before. Meditation, mindfulness, yoga. All of this can help reduce the feelings of stress and anxiety. The reason for this is because when you practice these activities, generally you're bringing your focus to your breathing and your body. And there's the intention of being present in the moment. So this is going to help you shift away your focus from the stressors and provide a sense of calm and peace. And this in the end will help you to reduce the levels of stress hormones in your body. Okay, second thing in order to avoid burnout, and this in my current life is a work in progress. This has been the most difficult thing that I ever had to learn. And I swear, if you already know how to do this, use it. But I would have loved for someone to teach me this as I was growing up, so that it is not so hard to do right now. So yeah, second advice in how to avoid burnout is setting boundaries. And not only regarding events or people around you, but setting boundaries with yourself. Learning to be able to separate work from personal life. And this is one of my main problems. I do not know how to stop working. I love my job so much that I could be working all the time. And even when I'm relaxing, I am thinking of what things I can do better. This is horrible. You're never letting your brain to stop. And your brain needs to stop. It needs to disconnect. Actually, when you allow your brain to fully disconnect and to rest and stop thinking about how you could be better at work, what things you can do, when you fully disconnect and then you come back, you actually do better. It has been demonstrated, this works, and I myself have experienced it. The second that I fully allow my brain to disconnect and let it wander with other things, whenever I come back to a task of my job, it goes better. So, how can we set boundaries? Setting boundaries is setting clear work times. So, if I put myself as an example, when you're doing a PhD, I know generally our timetable is 9 to 5, but it's never really 9 to 5. And I think there are plenty other jobs with this situation. When we're doing a PhD, we are constantly researching about a new topic. We have to think about new articles coming up, what experiments you can do, what things in your experiment you can change in order to achieve what you're actually looking for. So at the end, you wake up thinking of it, you're working on that during the day, and also when you come back from the office, you're still thinking about that, and sometimes you even keep on working on your computer. And this is very similar to me trying to grow my business. I have to think all the time what services I can provide, how I can help people. Like, my message is very clear, but the services are not yet created, and I'm working really hard to try to create them. So there's a lot of thought into how to do this. Also, the YouTube videos take a lot of work because I really want to help people. So I have to sit down and really think a lot about what topic, why that topic, how do I want to share that topic, what am I gonna say? And it's like, okay, I need to plan this, I need to write the script, I need to find a time in my day after my PhD to record, and then is my YouTube editor going to edit this video, or is this going to be a podcast? Because if it is a podcast, then I have to edit it. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it is very difficult to be like, it's 5 o'clock, work has finished, no more work today. And this is not only for YouTube, building a business, or the PhD. Meetings, projects, this happens in any job. When a project or a meeting comes up, you're so focused into that deadline that we overwork because we get stressed, because we're nervous, because we want to do good, which is great. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but at the end, because of this, we start overworking and creating a situation with unnecessary stress. So setting boundaries. For instance, if you have a very important project or a very important deadline that is coming up, I completely understand that for a certain amount of days, your work hours will have to increase. But make sure that at one point you will stop and not go directly to sleep, but take some time to do other things that you want, either reading, doing some yoga, moving your body, walking around in the park, whatever it is. Just make sure that it is not only that the only thing that you're going to do just because you have a deadline. I know at the point it looks like the smartest thing to do. I have been there, and at the end, every single time my mom or my partner says, Finola, stop, get off the chair, let's go for a walk, that makes everything better. And actually, I am more efficient and I work better whenever I do that. So yes, this is another way of setting boundaries. A way to put in your calendar or telling yourself to take regular breaks, especially in moments when you're very stressed and your work has increased, because we all have that at some point of the year. Another thing that you can do is that the moment you decide you're not working anymore, you turn off notifications, especially notifications coming from work, whether it is a notification from a chat you use for work or your email notifications, anything. Me personally, whenever I'm making this decision of no more work, I have a focus mode on my iPhone, and it's called Me Time. And actually, every single notification is off. So I receive nothing, not even Instagram, TikTok, nothing. Well, TikTok notifications are always off, but I don't want to receive any single notification. The only notification that I allow is a call from my dad, my mom, my sister, or my partner. That's it. The reason why setting boundaries is so important is because you are allowing your brain to switch off between different modes of functioning. Because when we switch from our work to a more relaxed moment in our personal life, we're allowing our brain to go from a high focused and goal-oriented mode required to a more relaxed and restorative mode during our personal time. And this switch is super important for our cognitive health, as it allows the brain to rest and recharge. Now, another reason why setting boundaries is so important is because when you are in work mode all the time, not allowing, as I mentioned before, our brain to switch off, this is going to increase the stress hormones. So by setting boundaries and making sure that you allow that brain to switch off, we help with this matter. When we take regular breaks from work, we reduce our brain's exposure to the stress hormones and help promote the production of chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which are linked to feelings of happiness and satisfaction. Okay, the next advice here is, I think, very obvious and very logical: to manage stress. Know how to manage your stress levels and your anxiety levels. This is something that I always mention in my videos. I know it is really hard to never have stress. And also, apart from really hard, something that is not real. At the end of the day, we're living life. Life situations that come with stress can happen, can trigger us, and this is just life. What I mean by this is that it is better to learn how to control stress and anxiety rather than allowing stress and anxiety control you. So this is why I want to share this tip. Learn to manage your stress, not only by the tips that I told you before, like self-care being really important and also learning how to set boundaries, but with other techniques. And these techniques could easily be part of the self-care part, but I just wanted to take it apart on another advice, let's say, because I really want to encourage you to practice this and bring awareness to this matter. So one technique is breathing. Breathing exercises, honestly, when you're feeling so stressed that you feel like you're actually going to drown, practicing breathing techniques can lower the stress level. I know this is something that a lot of people do, like only when they're feeling the stress, but if you practice this technique every day, if you allow yourself, and it's a very short, I mean, it can be as long as you want, but you can do it for a little amount of time. Give a moment in your day. My favorite breathing technique is when you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and let it out for 8. This breathing technique has helped me so much to calm my nerves, to reduce my stress, and especially I have suffered anxiety my entire life, and I get points of having a panic attack. And I suffer a lot whenever I'm having a panic attack. If I am outside surrounded by people, you cannot tell at all that I'm having a panic attack. It's a panic attack or anxiety attack, both. You cannot tell. I will be just there, really quiet. I'll just tell you that I'm tired and I'm just listening. But yeah, I would just be there sitting down, not talking, and in my mind I am anxious to go back home so that I can let it all out. And the second I let it all out, I lose control of my breath and I feel like I have no air, and as I was drowning. I cannot stop crying, and it's really, really bad. So that is something that scares me a lot. It's not a good feeling. I don't feel okay. It's a really scary feeling. So this is why for me it's so important to work as much as possible into controlling stress and anxiety, rather stress and anxiety controlling you. And this breathing technique has helped me so much, so much. And it's still a work in progress. I have gotten a lot better with the years. Like right now, the moments of me having anxiety attacks, it's very, very low, whether before it was happening quite often. Now I am able to be like, okay, Finola, your anxiety attack is coming. Sit down and let's do the breathing technique. But yeah, my advice is to try and do this technique as much as possible. I know because of life, it will be hard to do it on a daily basis, but yeah, 3-4 times per week should be done. The reason for this is because breathing techniques are going to help us reduce the speed of our heart rate and our blood pressure, which will counteract the physical effects coming from stress. Another technique, which I have mentioned already, is meditation. Meditation can help reduce the activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain that is responsible for controlling the stress response. And it helps increase the activity in areas of the prefrontal cortex, which are associated with focus and concentration. And another technique, which I have also mentioned before, is yoga. And the reason why I love yoga so much is because it has like 2 in 1. First, the physical part. You are moving your body, which, as we already talked about, physical exercise, physical movement, moving your body helps reduce the levels of stress and anxiety because it reduces the stress hormones and it increases the happy hormones. And on the other side, it has the mindfulness, the meditation part, the part where you're focusing on your breathing in and out, and you're watching all your thoughts happening, but you're trying not to engage with them and just let them go. So at the end, you're helping reduce immensely your stress levels. And also, something that I love about practicing yoga is that it's a moment where you can check in with yourself, check how you're feeling, and see what things you need to let go of. So yeah, this is the advice on managing stress in a sense of a regular basis and not only at the times where you're going crazy and feel like you're having anxiety attacks every day because of a project or a deadline that is coming or a situation in your life that is driving you crazy. When we practice these exercises on a regular basis, you learn to have control over stress and not allow stress and anxiety have control over you. Okay, next advice is to seek for support. And I think this is also something that is very hard for a lot of people. I feel like we have been taught somehow that if you look for help, if you ask for help, somehow we're stupid or we're weak or we're not able to handle life on our own. And I don't like this concept. It's something that we shouldn't be taught. We should be taught the whole contrary. We're all here together, and a lot of us are going through the same thing, and there should be nothing wrong with asking for help. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, but we shouldn't think that way. Gladly, I got rid of that mindset a very long time ago when I entered depression, and I'm so grateful that I went to therapy, and thanks to therapy, I changed that mindset. I almost always ask for help. Every single time that I cannot manage something on my own, I ask for help. And whoever thinks I'm stupid, well, it's not really my problem. At the end of the day, I'm asking for help. I'm going to do my own thing. I am learning and I'm getting better. So, ask for help. You are not alone in this world. You can talk to your friends, explain your situation to your family, a person that you trust and you love. Talk to them, see how they see your situation, whatever it is that you're talking about, what perspective they can give you. They will probably tell you things that you're not even aware about. And if you need it, get therapy. You can learn so much of yourself in therapy. Like, Therapy for me is not just for healing or to get better, but to learn so many things about you. In my therapy sessions, I have learned so many things about myself, from how things affect me, how I react to situations, what is my behavior when I'm stressed. These are things that I have learned in therapy, and the homework that I did with my therapist really helped me to learn more things about myself on my own, and also to be more aware of my feelings and my thoughts. Like today, I'm able to know when I'm stressed a lot earlier than before. And this really helps to manage stress also and handle the situation in a better way before it gets too bad. Also, apart from the help that you can get, when you seek for support, there is a benefit in this. Just the mere fact of seeking for support and seeing that your friend, your family, whoever is there and is trying to help you. That type of communication will release hormones such as oxytocin and endorphins, promoting feelings of happiness, relaxation, and trust. The reason for this is because the need for connection and support is rooted in our biology. And this not only comes with the communication, but physical contact, like hugging or holding hands. This can help release the hormone that I just mentioned, oxytocin. And this is in the end promoting a feeling of bonding and reduce stress. Okay, next advice is to know how to recognize the symptoms. And this is why I always insist how important it is for you to know yourself as much as possible. The better you know yourself, the better you will get at recognizing the symptoms, not only from stress and anxiety, but from anything that can happen to you. So, exhaustion, fatigue, these are symptoms that come with being in burnout, and this will affect your daily tasks. This decrease in productivity is a classic sign of a burnout. On an emotional level, you might start to feel overwhelmed and as if the job is too much for you and you cannot handle it. This, the exhaustion, the fatigue, and the overwhelming, at the end, it's going to lead to lack of motivation. You will probably feel like you're not deriving any pleasure or satisfaction from your work. Tasks that at one point excited you and you were more than happy to do them now seem mundane or burdensome. So these are all very common symptoms of being in burnout, and recognizing them is the first step to addressing this situation. And last but not least, the advice that I want to share today is take time off, which I think was how I started the podcast. Take time off, know when to take time off, which will, of course, come as you learn how to handle this whole burnout situation. So if you find yourself feeling constantly tired, constantly exhausted, if you feel in a constant stress, overwhelmed, with lack of motivation, feeling like you're running everywhere, but at the same time you're not getting anything done, you need to take time off. Now, there are different levels in here. It could be that at one point of the day you are so stressed by a specific task that you need to stop. Then maybe your time off is to take a break. And that is great. Maybe this is just a one small point thing happening in one day. Maybe this has been gone for months, and then you're taking time off, needs to get away, like away from your work, from your environment, and just be alone with yourself or with someone you trust that brings you calm, and taking 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is that you need in order to heal and recover. And when you come back, it's better. And this is not only for your body to be able to rest and recharge, but it's also for you to come with a different perspective. This comes in the need of switching off your brain. When you take a break, not only you reduce the levels hormones that we were talking and increase the happy hormones, leaving that aside, you create space in your life for reflection and also reassessment. It's a chance for you to take a step back, evaluate your current situation, and then maybe decide if there are any changes that you need to make in your life. So yes, I really wanted to finish with that today's episode. I really hope today's episode has helped you. I think this topic is very important, and also as I mentioned, I love to be as real as I can, and this is my current situation right now. I don't think I'm in burnout, but I think I'm very close, and I'm feeling very tired. I know I said I'm feeling very motivated. I'm very energetic in the sense of like wanting to work, which is true, but my body energies are not matching my brain energy. This is my current problem right now. And I recognize this because this is generally my first step before reaching burnout. So right now I'm trying to keep on working, but I'm trying to do it in a slower space, and taking a lot of breaks during the day, doing my breathing techniques. And once I arrive home from work, it means no more working, and I'm trying to go back to my daily yoga practice because, you know, it happens. You have this routine with your healthy habits, and then something big happens. You focus on that. So the rest is left behind, and, you know, slowly you learn to recognize the signals, recognize the behavior, and say, okay, wait, I understand that this is an important task that I need to dedicate time. Maybe I need to dedicate more time than before to this task, but let's not forget about ourselves and what is important to us, which is our health, our mental health. Yoga makes us happy. Breathing techniques keeps anxiety and stress low. Not drinking too much coffee, things like that. So yeah, I really hope that you liked it. I really hope that this helped you. If you think anyone can benefit from this episode, then please share it. And I would love to hear about your experiences, whether it is in the comment section in YouTube, leaving a review in the podcast audio, or if you prefer, you can just join the community Healthy Life Dreamer at Discord, and I will be there to just be together, supporting each other and helping everyone out. Also, I just want to let you know that my first merchandising ever is on the website, and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, I will leave the link down below and check it out if you want to. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's it for today's episode of the Health Reflections podcast. If you would like to have more information, you can check out the show notes or go to the podcast section at finolameister.com. I hope this episode was valuable to you and inspired and empowered you into taking action. A reminder that we have a lovely community space called Healthy Life Dreamers, where we share experiences and support each other on this journey. I would love it if you would help me spread the word by leaving a review or sharing the podcast with anyone you think might need it. Thank you so much for being here today. See you in the next one.